The Reaching to Heaven arc of Gachiakuta is a high point on a manga that I'm usually low on. Kei Urania was able to take everything that she was building up to with her battle shonen set in a wasteland and ramp up everything to its extreme, from the action to the consequences, the character design, the set design, everything about the aesthetic and the writing was at its best during this arc. The longest arc of Gachiakuta up until now, I finally started to come around to Kei Urania's writing style and art style, having felt that she got comfortable with where she was as a mangaka and knowing exactly where she wanted to go with these characters. But of course, I was way too optimistic about something that had let me down so many times before. I've definitely outgrown this ADHD juvenile trash that they try to pass off as some sort of peak battle shonen. I don't know why I ever gave this series the benefit of the doubt. The field trip to Canvas Town is a revisiting of a locale that we didn't need to go back to so soon. All of my disappointments for Gachiakuta have returned. I am so fucking disappointed in what I'm reading. You know, I actually get these weird goosebumps whenever I read this edgy crap. It's so cringe. Gachiakuta still can't handle tone shifts. Kei Urania is not a good enough writer to be so playful with these devices. How she went from the really great Reach to Heaven arc to this piece of shit should be studied. A lot of current Gachiakuta feels like a Kodomo manga. Now, I get it, the younger members of the cleaners are probably going to be more goofy than the older members, but it's such a tonal whiplash every time we see the older members doing something or talking about something, and then we jump over to Rudo and the rest and they're just being little bitch boys. It's strange too because Urania is leaning on physical humor way too much. Rudo still not being able to smile is not funny. People being freaked out when he tries is not cute. It's just stupidly quirky. And Rudo being a candy junkie, again, is so lame. I don't understand. At times, the art is too expressive for things that it really doesn't need to be expressive for. I imagine that if Urania just toned down the pantomime, the manga would read much better. Characters overreact in every single situation. Like this, it's like fucking Urania watched a bunch of Jim Carrey movies and she assumed that sort of body humor, the wild contortionist thing, is like how all North American humor is like. And it's not. It's very cartoony. It's just very stupid. She keeps throwing all of the humor aspects of this series at Rudo and around Rudo. Quite honestly, Rudo just needs to shut the fuck up. He's such an annoying character. I don't like him outside of battles. And I think shifting from an ensemble cast to Rudo being the focus point for every single chapter is a mistake. Engine needs to do something aside from being cool. He's a great character and we need to see more of him in significant moments. Zodil showed how menacing he was as a villain, but I haven't seen any real threats from him yet. Or anyone else for that matter. So I don't want this to be a superhero-centric manga. I would rather it be a manga that's full of conflicts and resolutions. The plot reveals that we've gotten so far are very weak as well. The Watchmen series logo reveal in Canvas Town was deflating, to be honest. Maybe if the characters weren't acting like Cedarbrae collegiate students at Burger King for the last few chapters, I would have appreciated this sly attempt at plot progression. Rudo is a character who has had significant amounts of screen time throughout the 90 chapters thus far, so I'm not surprised to see him go down the chosen one lane. I just would have liked more build up to it. It doesn't really feel earned. Rudo should be someone who is a regular guy who's working through his anger issues, and the fact that he doesn't smile is already weird. Everyone can smile. It's the thing that even animals can do. So the fact that Rudo doesn't know how to smile is stupid. It's such a surface level way of writing the character. If Urania leaned more into Rudo's anger management issues and him being unable to express himself fully, like maybe he doesn't know how to love, or maybe he doesn't understand why he has such a strong affection towards Amo right now. A lot of those things that she set up, she's not utilizing for Rudo. So it makes me feel like she doesn't actually know what she wants to do with Rudo. She wants him to be the focal point of this series, but again, he's such an underdeveloped, boring ass character who does nothing except act like a fucking 10-year-old at all times. If Kei Urania could commit to a single demographic, then I think Gachi could write the course. If she wants to be the coolest Kodomo mangaka on the block, then that's her wheelhouse. Stick with that. If she wants to be comparable to other battle shonen, then there needs to be a dedicated effort to matching what her peers are doing. With Gachi, I get serious FLCL vibes. The reason why FLCL worked was because the slapstick comedy was used sparingly. There are a lot of chill moments and somber themes alongside the insanity. Not here though. Gachiakuta is always turned up to 11, going 200 miles per hour, always hyper. Why does it need to be hyper? Why does Rudo only get serious during battle? The only saving grace for this manga is the art. Yes, I have been negative about Urania's art in this video and others before, but the fact of the matter is that she is a fantastic artist. I just feel like she's flanderizing herself. Her body framing is literally perfect. You can tell that she's an experienced, lifelong artist who has great respect for not just the medium of manga, but other forms of expression as well. But shonen is not for her. You can be a fan of something, but not understand how to execute on it in a critically or commercially viable way. And Gachiakuta, while it has its fans and it's steadily growing or at least maintaining its fan base, I just feel that as we approach 100 chapters, 2 years of serialization, there really should have been more. And I'm sure Urania is aware that she just finished up her most impactful arc, so why not follow it up with something just as good, if not better? A cooldown arc really doesn't make any sense, especially for a town that we've already explored thoroughly enough, like, what, 30 chapters ago? Gachiakuta feels like Fairy Tail or Seven Deadly Sins or Tokyo Revengers, a series that's very mid but enjoyable, and every generation has that. They have their animes and mangas that are trying to be more edgelord than what they actually put out there for whatever reasons, and I think Gachi kind of falls into that lane. I don't like this manga. Every time I'm impressed by it and 3, 4, 5 chapters in a row, it's really fucking hot, it throws another 3, 4, 5 chapters of shit right in my fucking face. And that's irritating because there's so much potential here for a wasteland battle shonen type of series. It hasn't had to have relied on the organizational trope too much. It hasn't had to rely on a tournament trope. I haven't seen any resurrections, just some fake out deaths, which is whatever. But at the same time, I'm just not seeing what I need to see from Gachiakuta to separate it from all of the other battle shonen that have come before and that are currently out that are so much better. I really wouldn't waste your time with this series. It's pretty fucking trash. 3 out of 10.